Sometimes we just make all of this area of personal development is so complex, and it's not. It's really simple.
The very beginning of whatever we want is getting in touch with the emotion, the passion. And that's the guidance system that helps us to pursue our purpose.
The more people can tune into their bodies, the more people can be aware of what their body's trying to express and feel it, breathe with it, put their hands on it and feel the movements that are available to them. That's where the value is.
All the wisdom's inside of us. We actually know this innately. And sometimes I just see my job as reminding people of that wisdom.
We think the solutions to life are complex, and so it causes our neurology to start to look for complex ways to make that happen. That is, to come to the solution. What if life is much simpler than that? What if all we have to do is just simply follow our truth? What if we already know the answers? And what if we could allow ourselves to believe that? What would happen as a result?
And this is what we need to do with personal growth. This is what we need to do with behavioural change. We need to stress ourselves. We need to get uncomfortable. And it's in the discomfort, and it's in the pain, and it's in the adversity that we learn, that we grow, that we develop skills, that we get stronger.
If you have a lot of anger, chances are you're going to have a lot of issues with your heart. If you have a lot of fear, chances are you're going to have a lot of issues with your stomach. If you think too much and get yourself so anxious, chances are you may have some issues around here.
If you want to move into functionality, you move to your heart. And you start to love, and you start to care, and you start to allow the love of the heart energy to come into it and not have to look at so much of the dysfunction. It can actually look at perfection.
Connecting with the heart happens for all of us at different times in our lives. We have different experiences of it. And many of us find it so frightening that we quickly jump up, dust ourselves off, and pretend it never happened.
The heart is about love and to acceptance and to being able to simply say, that's perfect. It could be that you've just lost $1 million. Yet the heart could say, it's perfect. The ego or the dysfunctional part will be looking at blaming people, that looking to make people guilty, to make people jealous. And that will often lead to dysfunctionality. Whereas the heart will lead to perfection.
And it oftentimes takes some help to create a context to understand that actually finding the heart, connecting with the heart, and living with the heart is not only safe, but it's actually enlightened.
Most of education has trained us to think, to memorize, to study, and to regurgitate, and to vomit all over the test. Where in the world that we're in right now, if you really put your hand on your heart, and you feel it, and you ask yourself, what would you love to do? And you ask yourself, if you could do anything, what would you do?
How can you know what love is until you've experienced what it is to feel that you don't have love? How can you know what alone is unless you experience the notion of being separate from people?
When we feel that pain, we feel a void, an emptiness, and the ego mind abhors emptiness, and it constructs something to cover it up. And that construction becomes the personality we call the false self. These are beliefs that the ego mind creates to give us comfort and to protect us from feeling pain. What they really do is protect us from connecting with our true self.